That's a wonderful question that is being asked by this lady. How do we know if God really exists? There is nothing that will be more compelling to believe than something we can find in our being. The existence of God can be proven in so many manners. But the first and the best way to prove that there is God and to believe that He really exists is within ourselves. Let us read in the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 28, verse 9, it says, and I read, "And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou the God of thy father, and serve him with a perfect heart and with a willing mind. For the Lord searcheth all hearts, and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee. But if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever." You see, there is an assurance in the Bible that if you will seek God, if you want to know that He exists, if you want to know that He really exists, you will find Him. The Bible tells us He will be found of thee. The Bible is speaking to Solomon that time. Solomon will find God. When? Where? How? It's very clear. God searches all hearts and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts. See? Within us, God has a way to convey the message that He exists. You can find Him within you. You can find Him in your heart. You can find Him in your thoughts. That's what the Bible says. How do we know that you can find Him in your heart and in your being? Let us read another verse in the book of Romans chapter 2, verse 14. "For when the Gentiles which have not the law do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves, which show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts the meanwhile accusing or else excusing one another." The Apostle Paul said in these verses that we have read that the Gentiles who have not heard of Christ, who have not heard of God, when they by nature do the things contained in the law, these Gentiles who do not have the law are a law unto themselves. What is that law? The law that is in their hearts, which show the work of the law written in their hearts and their conscience. So, you see, there is something in us which the Bible calls the conscience. Deep within our being, in our hearts, there is a conscience. That conscience will dictate to you that there is God. Our thoughts, our imaginations, our thinking will prove to us that there is God. How can that be? Is that possible? Let us read. In the book of Romans 1:19 to 20, it says, "Because that which may be known of God is manifest in them, for God hath showed it unto them." God, to be known, He is showing Himself to us. How? Let us continue on verse 20. "For the invisible things of Him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even His eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse." So, the eternal power of God is manifest by the things which He has made. The invisible things of God becomes visible from the creation of the physical world, that the world that we can see, being understood, according to Paul, by the things that are made. You see, the making of a maker introduces the kind of the maker. I have here a table. I know that somebody made it. It did not come into existence because it just grew, the table grew here in this place by itself. This is a table because a carpenter have done it. Although I have not seen the carpenter, by the way this table was constructed or was made, I believe that the one who made this table is an understanding carpenter, a good carpenter. The smoothness of the table, the level of the legs of this table showed me that the one who made it is an intelligent carpenter. Now, why do I say this? I'm saying this as an example. Not all things that we can see on this earth are made by human beings. Although this table was made by a human being, the wood that was used in making this table is not made by human beings. It was made to grow on earth by a power, which the Bible calls God. The Bible tells us that God caused every living thing to exist in this earth. So, by the things that He has made, we will have an idea about His power and Godhead, of His being. We can see the sun, which has been there for billions of years, and which is believed by scientists to stay there for another 5 billion years. It seems that the power of the sun to generate heat and light is almost inexhaustible. That displays the eternal power of God. To burn up a fire that will last for 10 billion or 15 billion years, staying there, the same size, not reducing in size, is something that displays the eternal power of God who made the sun and the other stars in our galaxy and in the universe. These things came into existence not by chance. Why not by chance, as others believe in the Big Bang? Why do I believe it is not by chance or by the Big Bang that these things have come into existence? Because they were carefully planned and engineered to be in the perfect distance, in the perfect mixture of elements for them to exist, like the earth. And no man can make this. The Bible calls the maker God. Others call him, this came into existence by nature. By nature, they said. They call it nature, but I call him God. The one that causes the existence of everything is God. Let us read. In the book of Acts, chapter 17, verses 24, 25, and 28, it says, God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that He is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands, neither is worshipped with men's hands, as though He needed anything, seeing He giveth to all life and breath and all things. For in Him we live and move and have our being, as certain also of your poets have said, for we are also His offspring.